welcome viewers. This is Susan Muita, your health advisor, coming to you through the show True Living, which airs through Sky Cable TV, and we are continuing on type 2 diabetes. Although, as we have been talking before, I will also touch on type 1 diabetes because some of the care, the medications, and how you deal with it, it's similar. Some, like the insulin, what you can use for type 1, you can also use it for type 2. But as you know very well, when we started our episode, I had explained to you that type 2 diabetes, your pancreas was operating well, but you got onto the disease process of getting type 2 diabetes because of the risk factors. Maybe you are not taking care of yourself well, you are not eating the right way, either the diet you are taking, carbohydrates were too many or the sugars were too many, you are overweight, you did not take good care of yourself genetically. Maybe you inherited it from your parents, maybe your parents had it, but it's a disease which you can deal with it, or you could have prevented it. But when we'll come back on type 1, I don't think you had much to do. Either you are born with it because your pancreas at the beginning was not producing any insulin, or the insulin it was producing is too limited. It's not enough, to take the sugar onto your cells. So let's begin the show. First of all, what we'll talk about today, we'll talk on two things. First of all, we'll talk on how to put your sugar high. What I mean by that is, when you are diabetic, sometimes you find yourself in two places. Either your sugar is too high, which on the first episode I told you that when your sugar is very high, that one is called hyperglycemia, and then when your sugar is too low, it's called hypoglycemia. So let's begin. So if your sugar is too low, which is hypoglycemia, so how do you do it? And what is low blood sugar? May I ask you, what is low blood sugar? Low blood sugar is when your sugar is very low. You're either not having enough sugar in your blood. And we can talk of the numbers. I don't know whether you remember the numbers we said. Remember at the beginning we said that good number for you to have when you check your blood sugar, especially like when you check it in the morning. Let's say you had your dinner last night before midnight, then in the morning you wake up, you check your sugar should be reading between 80 and 140. Another scenario is, let's say you take your breakfast, then after 2 hours you check your blood sugar, then your blood sugar, the normal age should be between, it can be 80 or 90 to 180. When it goes beyond that or below that, then there is a problem, but it happens because you are diabetic. So let's start with low blood sugar. So what it means, low blood sugar, so it means the sugar is not 80 yet. So it can be 70, 60, 50, and then it goes down. But when you start getting a number which is below 70, you should be very, very worried. You should be doing something, because most of the people, they start showing symptoms of low blood sugar, which I had explained previously. And some of them is like you get confused, you start sweating, you have blurred vision, you have headaches, and there are more. And we had talked about them, but also in the future we'll still be mentioning some of them. and it's very critical. If you don't treat it, if you don't do anything about it, that way you can become unconscious, and you know you can also lose, you know, your life. So you have to really do something. So here I'll show you some of the things which, you know, you can do something to bring your sugar up. And a good idea is when your sugar is very low, let's say 60 and below. So when you are putting it up, you should be checking it, you know, within 5 minutes or 15 minutes, so that you can know it's going up. Because sometimes you might treat it and it doesn't go up. So let's start on what you should do. So here I have the glucose tablets. These are the glucose tablets. It's so easy because it's something you can put on your mouth, you know, and it melts so well, and it melts well. It's a big pill. It melts immediately. You can even put it at the tongue and it will melt, or in your mouth. That will bring your sugar up. Another thing you can do, you can get juice, orange juice. Orange juice has a lot of sugar. You can even have a glass, and even to make the sugar come up quickly, you can take the normal sugar, the table sugar, and add it together with the orange juice to make it, you know, to make it more sugary, so that it, once you drink a glass, the sugar can go up. Another thing you can do, you can take at home, if you don't have the tablet, you don't have the orange juice, and you don't have the fruits, the orange juice, the orange fruit, because orange fruit is the one which produces the orange juice, so it's very sugary. Or if in your home or wherever, when you go to the market, when you buy fruits, you know, the fruits which are so sweet, that means they have a lot of sugar. So one of the fruit I would recommend is the orange juice. There are other fruits, like you can see here, we have melon. I have grapes here. It's always good when you're diabetic at home. Keep fruits. You can even have a banana. And then another idea for having even the fruits which are not too sweet, it's when your sugar, it's not very low. Maybe it's 80, 70, but you can see like it's going down. You can even have a piece of banana. You know, you can have a piece of banana. You can have other fruits. You can even take yogurt, a cup of yogurt. It will bring the sugar up. And it's always recommended to have ginger ale at home. Ginger ale you can even have once in a while within the day. If you like, there sometimes you are not checking your sugar, you are not sure whether it's a little low, but you start feeling like your sugar is getting low. So you can take you can have a glass of ginger ale. So ginger, it doesn't have much sugar as the other sodas. It can keep you in a balance. You know, you don't get too high, because as I was talking to you and I told you about the orange juice, the orange juice will shoot your sugar up quickly. So let's say you are 70 or 60 or 50. Sometimes you might take orange juice, and because you have to recheck your sugar, for those who are diabetic, they know what I'm talking about. They have a machine called glucometer, which is inside here, but it's this one, because this is the machine that you use to check your blood sugar. So when you check, let's say in the morning, and you find your sugar is 50, when you take what I've just mentioned, the glucose tablets to take your sugar up, or you drink a glass of orange juice, or you take the orange juice itself, or you take the table sugar, the sugar goes up. So or you take another fruit here. So after you recheck yourself, you'll find, like, if I take the glucose tablet, you might, because you're already diabetic, after 15 minutes or 5 minutes, you check your sugar. It might also go off the roof. It might go high, then it's over 180, it's 200, it's 300. Then also when the sugar goes that too high, it's another battle, because you also have to bring it down. And then we'll talk about bringing your sugar down, what makes it, how you do it, how you bring your sugar down. So, and as I was explaining to you, so you have to, it's like a thin line, because the sugar has to remain in a balance. It has to remain like in a range, you know. As I had told you, it has to remain between 180 and 70, or 80 and 140. So when you are diabetic, especially those who have bad diabetes, so it's advisable for them to be checking their sugars as their doctors have recommended. And there are those who have bad diabetes. Sometimes I call it brittle diabetes. So those ones, they are those people, the blood sugar is usually checked in the morning. There are others, they check it twice a day. You check it in the morning and in the evening. There are those, you know, they check the sugar in the morning, at noon, then in the evening. There are those who also, they check 4 times a day. And there are those, they check 4 times a day, and they also have a PRN, which is per needed. So it's like, if you think or you feel, because when you're diabetic, you either know when your sugar is getting high or when it's getting low. So there are those, you know, it's recommended when you feel like that, you have to take your machine and check and know the number, because there are those people, especially the one for type 1, they have to be on top of it. Most of the type 1 I've seen, especially the ones which, you know, it's very bad, they have to check the sugar either in the morning when they wake up, they have to check it before meals, because they might also have insulins which they are taking short acting, and they also depend on sliding scale. And what I mean by sliding scale, because there was a time we talked with you about the sliding scale. Sliding scale is you check the number of the range you are in, the number which will lead on the glucometer, and then it will tell you, like your doctor, your diabetic doctor will tell you, if you have this number of you know, of milligram per dl, you'll have these units of the type of insulin. And because we'll talk on the next episode about the insulins, so I'll tell you which ones goes with a sliding scale. And in the future, you know, we can have an expert who specializes with medications and insulins, you know, like a pharmacist, and they'll tell us, they'll explain to us into details on that, but we'll get onto that. And you have to really keep your sugar in balance, because when the sugar is very low or when it's very high, most of your organs, they're getting messed up. You might damage your liver, you might damage your kidneys, and most of your inner organs get messed up. So you have to really know when to grab something to put your sugar up. You have to have something in your house. just create it. You don't have even to buy the tablets. You can depend on the fruits. Work individually. Everybody is different. Everybody has different, you know, of getting things. But those, whatever your doctor tells you, just follow it. But because you are the one who is diabetic, try also to advocate for yourself. Try also to be like your own doctor. And whatever you use, let your doctor know about it. And I hope everybody will be able to put their sugar up when it goes down. When your sugar goes down, that means you are hypoglycemic. So you have to bring your sugar to a level where you'll be able to operate. And that way you'll be able to maintain your diabetes well. And you'll be able to take good care of yourself, and you live longer and a better life. And for now, this is your health advisor, Susan Muita. And don't forget to watch this show via Sky Cable TV. Subscribe, and you can press the like button. You can do a comment, and the True Living Show is on air every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern African Time and 12 noon Eastern Time. And thank you for watching this show. Thank you. Bye.